Hello, I'm Ant from thegamejar.com, and I'm here today with Faz, who is the associate producer on Crysis 3. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And we're going to talk today about what you've got to show us at the expo. So what have you got on offer today?
So today we're showing Crysis 3 multiplayer, we're showing a brand new game mode called Hunter, and we're showing one of our old game modes from Crysis 2 called Crysis.
That's cool. And I hear you've got something new to show us as well, something about a New York feed.
Yes, a New York feed is a brand new thing we brought in for Crysis 3. It's basically a top-down overview of New York City, and it shows you all of the maps that we have in-game, and it shows you how your friends are doing on that, what kind of stuff they're unlocking, what maps they're playing, and based off of that you get specific challenges that you can complete and get a lot of cool stuff from.
So obviously a big part of multiplayer is the weaponry, your weapons of mass destruction. And a big deal is bows and arrows. They seem to be playing a big role in games these days. Talk to us about the bow and arrow.
Absolutely. So the bow is quite a big part of the single-player campaign as well, and we just wanted to take that aspect and use the hunter aspect of it and bring it into multiplayer. So the bow is brand new. It's basically just to move along the lines of predator and hunting and stuff like that. And we've given 4 different types of arrows that you can use with it as well. So it ties in quite nicely with the new game mode that we have, which is Hunter itself. And Hunter is a game mode that basically pits 2 hunters who are in nanosuits and completely cloaked, and they hunt a group of cell operatives who have no nanosuits and just the guns and a few toys to protect themselves against the hunters.
That sounds cool. So you got a bit of a Predator vibe going on.
It is indeed. It's cool because it's a very interesting asymmetrical game mode to start off with, but then as you move through it changes and it becomes quite tense. So you turn from 2 hunters hunting a group of cell to a group of hunters hunting just a few cell, and it's interesting because the tension levels rise as the game mode goes on, and the twist is, of course, as the cell get hunted, they become hunters as well.
Right.
So it's basically, you've just got to try and survive. It's interesting because there are loads of different ways of doing it. Whether you choose to stick with a pack, whether you choose to go on your own, that's completely up to you. The longer you survive, the more XP you get, and yeah, happy days.
So it sounds like there's a lot you can do with that bow and arrow.
Yeah, well, for the hunters especially. You can use the bow in other game modes as well, but from a hunter point of view, that's the only weapon that they can use. So they just have a hunter, and they have one special arrow, which is an explosive tip arrow, which basically explodes and it sticks, and you can use it strategically as well. So
other than the bow and arrow, what's your favourite weapon?
There are a few. One would be Typhoon, which is a brand new weapon that we have. It's a crazy weapon. It fires like 500 rounds per second. It's useful in the hunter game mode. We're introducing a lot of new alien weapons, which can be found in the levels themselves. So we've got dead Ceph bodies that appear, which are alien bodies. If a player comes across them, they can pick up weapons from them and use it. So there are a lot of cool alien weaponry that we're using in the games themselves. So we've got a flamethrower called the Incinerator. We've got a plasma gun. Yeah, lots of cool stuff.
So it's going to be hard to pick a favourite then?
Yeah. I personally love the MK60. That's my weapon of choice.
So have you made any changes to the engine for this particular game, bearing in mind this is the last, possibly one of the last installments on this generation? You know, we're getting to the end of what the hardware can do. Absolutely. You know, have you had to change it? Is it limiting at all working in that environment?
Well, to be honest, a lot of the groundwork for that was done during Crysis 2, because Crysis 2 was Crytek's first venture on consoles. Yep. So the engine had to be gutted and redone to basically make sure that it could cover consoles as well. That was all done on Crysis 2. So now that we come to Crysis 3, we have an engine that's fully capable of doing everything on all platforms that we have at the moment. So to be honest, this time it was a lot easier, and we could focus on making the game rather than have to worry too much about the restrictions of the engine.
So you had a lot more time for creativity?
Absolutely, yeah. Lots of stuff, lots of cool stuff.
Well, I'm looking forward to it then. You've sold it to me. It was nice talking to you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Nice.